Hi guys, it's Kian. So for this week's Chit Chat video, I wanted to talk a little bit about this idea of a depth year and also what I'm gonna do with Pebbles, leaning into this concept of depth. So Pebbles here is my Unoa Lilin. She's a modded sleeping head. She had her eyes opened and she's on a Unoa 1.5 body, which is a MSD size body or like a slim mini size body, but the head was actually a slightly smaller doll. It's the chibi Unoa doll. Anyway, the point is, okay, so this is Pebbles. She's the only doll that I have in this size, which isn't really particularly, it's not super duper relevant, but it's sort of relevant, you'll see in a moment. So today I wanted to talk about this idea of depth or a depth year and doing more of your dolls. So I'm going to zoom in a bit closer so you can see more of Pebbles, but for now I just want to point out I changed her clothes and she's in this like lovely dress with another inner skirt just for extra length and fluff. So I'm going to zoom in on her. So this is Pebbles. I don't know how clearly you can see her. I'm not sure whether it really shows up on camera, but Pebbles has a bit of this missing eyeliner on this side of her eye. So her face up is kind of old. It's been here since like 2014, I think. I did it immediately after I did her mod, so it has to be at least years. And Pebbles has been kind of like in this state, and she has blushed hands, which you can't really focus on right now. So actually her blushed hands are kind of patchy now. I'm not sure whether it's focused in camera, but on this hand, it's basically really shiny and there's a lot of spots. Yeah, and she also has blushed feet, which kind of have the same problem. It probably isn't very obvious on camera, but she does have like some kind of spotty, patchy MSC. Right, and before I set her down, maybe let me just show you one more thing. So Pebbles is basically really loose. So yeah, she hasn't been restrung at all since I got her. So that was also some years ago. Yeah, so she always looks sad, but she looks kind of sadder now. Anyway, the point of this was that I've basically had Pebbles around for like a few years, and I don't think I've really done super a lot with her. So let me backtrack a bit and talk about the depth year. So the depth year is basically this idea that I came across from the Resonate BJD podcast. It's actually this article that they linked. So I'm going to link the article as well as the podcast that I saw this from in the description box below. But basically the idea of a depth year is that you go deeper into things that you do have. So the basic assumption being that, you know, we do have a lot of things in this modern world, and that as humans there's a tendency to kind of want the new shiny things, so we would like to buy new stuff rather than really go deep in with the stuff that we already have. And I think that's something that I've been kind of struggling with, and I think I've also mentioned it in some form in an earlier chit chat about buying new clothes for my dolls. So after watching that podcast and after reading the article on the depth year and also like the follow-up on the depth year, the person who wrote the depth year basically did a depth year themselves, and I just thought it's a really interesting idea. And I also watched a few videos about, or like one video I think, about depth year, just because I was curious about the concept. And one thing that somebody said that resonated with me was that the idea of a depth year is not purely just about like not buying new stuff. It's really about what you can go deeper with your hobbies or with your things. In this case, for me, I really wanted to go deeper with my hobbies, enjoy my dolls more. And yeah, so one suggestion they had was that when you do want to get a new item, think of what you would want to do with it. So for example, when I want to get a new doll, what I want to do with it is like have a new clean fresh doll, and then like do their face up, get them clothes, get them wigs and eyes and everything, basically get them ready. And usually I'll also really appreciate if they're like, tightly strung. So not tightly strung like, back breaking kind of thing, but like, not loose like Pebbles is right now. So so the idea was that whatever you want to do with a new item, or in this case, a new doll, I will do it with an existing doll I already have. So recently I came across this box opening video by Shira Star Hobby. I'm sorry if I'm not remembering the channel name correctly because I'm doing it off the top of my head. But basically they did an opening of Mimo Marina's Oscar P doll, and I really like the aesthetics of that doll maker, Mimo Marina. And it's a completely different size. The dolls are like 32 cm, 30-ish cm, and they're closer to like Barbie size or Ken size, which is a size that I do not own, and basically would mean that if I ever get a new size, I will need to get like new clothes, new wigs, new eyes, and things like that. And like I really like the aesthetics of the doll. Like they have, I'm gonna put some pictures here, but like they have like pretty thick lips and like single eyelids, and I'm not sure whether I like the ones with big eyes or the small eyes, but like both of them have their appeal. And I was thinking of the depth year concept again, so I came back to it and like, what can I do with my existing dolls? Like, can I channel that energy of wanting a new doll and putting it into my existing dolls? Not because the point being that I don't really know whether I do want to get a new doll, or if it's just the idea of having something new that's really appealing to me. So I'm aware enough to know that I might just be enamored with the idea of having something new rather than actually wanting that new item. Like, I think it's best to let it sit. So rather than do anything in that direction of getting a new doll or anything like that, I thought of using that energy and putting it into an existing doll. So the reason why I chose Pebbles is because she does have some similarities with what I was interested in that doll. So she does have luscious lips. It might be more of a case of the face up that I did on her rather than the actual mold itself. But she also does have more of that really tiny eyes, single eyelid look. Her eyelids are painted on, so the scalp itself, because I modeled it from sleeping, she doesn't have any molded eyelids. And yeah, she's a girl, which, that's not the same as the doll that I'm like looking at. But she is also the only doll that I own in this size, so basically everything that is in this size is hers. Which is quite similar to what would happen if I do get let's say an Oscar P or a Betty, which, like I said, I might just be more interested in the idea of it rather than the actual doll itself. Does that make sense? So yeah, I'm kind of like channeling a very frantic energy. Maybe it doesn't come across that way, but it's definitely more frantic and energized compared to my usual videos. I'm not sure. I'm trying to do this video as soon as I can just to get everything out, and as a result I don't think I'm speaking very coherently. But yeah, basically what I was saying somewhere in the video at some point, what I really like with a new doll is that, you know, basically they are clean, they are like nicely strung and like, you know, just nice and shiny, and not literally shiny but like metaphorically, and I'll get to do a new face up and like dress them up and stuff. So I'm pretty happy with her eyes and wig. I can't find a better wig than this, and I'm really happy with her clothes as well. But I think the doll itself could use some TLC. Like I said, she has an old-ish face up. It's kind of shiny in the forehead and stuff, so it's like it's been a while. She could do with a new face up and, you know, the chip in her eyelid, her eyeliner. And she also has like, you can't see it now that I'm so close in, but like as I said, she has blush hands and feet, and she's also really loose. So anyway, the point of this is that I'm gonna try to clean her up, restring her, and probably remove her existing hand and feet blushing, and maybe also redo her face up. I'm not sure whether I'll really finish every single thing. I feel like even just cleaning her would take some energy. And to restring her, I just ordered some elastics. Like literally I just ordered it this morning. It's been like what, 1 hour since I ordered it. So yeah, I'm really excited, but at the same time there's a side of me that's a bit more practical, who's a bit more concerned that, you know, it's just the high of the moment and I may not end up doing everything I want with her. So yeah. Like, I know myself. I always think I want to do a project, like, you know, make a doll a project, but then like there is a tendency that I would not finish it through completely. Yeah. So I'm recording this video with a mix of like excitement but also kind of fear that I will not actually do everything that I'm like telling you right now, just because like I'm super excited right now and I may not have the excitement like a few months into the future, which is probably realistically when things will get done, which is like, you know, when the elastics come in and when I do get to clean her and remove all the MSC on her hands and feet and potentially reblush them, I'm not sure. So yeah, so it's kind of all over the place, but let me just summarize this chit chat. Basically, the idea of a depth here, taking the energy that I have, being really excited about like potentially thinking about getting a new doll, and instead of actually getting a new doll, putting it into my existing doll who gives me a similar kind of like vibe, and trying to do more with her. So I'm actually really excited thinking about like when she's just like clean and properly strung and not loose again. But I am also aware in a practical sense that there is a lot of work to get her there, which is probably why I don't really clean my dolls, and why a lot of them are actually really loose. But I'm also excited to see how this may turn out. So I'm like keeping my fingers crossed that that I would carry through with it and like, you know, not be too hard on myself if I take really long, because I'm not sure I would be able to do it continuously. Like I have so many dolls, I don't think I would be focusing on just her at one point in time, and also I just really hate having my dolls in pieces lying around drying. So like I just don't like it. I just like them strung together, even if they're like, you know, loosely strung, which is not a good idea. Like you have to break some eggs to make an omelette. I'm aware of that, but it doesn't make it easier for me. All the eggs are broken and the omelette is not yet made, because that could be a process of like a few months in a doll hobby for me. So yeah. I realized at some point that the video disappeared, so if like there's like a random black screen or whatnot, I'm sorry. I've been talking for way too long. So anyway, that's all for today's chit chat. Thanks for watching. Bye. And hopefully you see like a refreshed Pebbles, or if not, you know, we'll see.